Hey there, I'm Sims and I make custom content for The Sims 4. I'm cleaning out my hard drive of all the footage that I've been hoarding over the past year, and I haven't done anything with it, so today I'm showing off the Squishmallows that I made. For a bit of context and background, a few years ago now I made a Sims mod that would override the My Sims Trophy collectibles that you could dig up and find in the world. A patch for the game eventually broke them, and so I had to fix them, which I didn't do until this year. But not only did I fix them, I also completely remade them with better models and textures. Anyway, while working on that, I had the idea to do an updated and more relevant mod, and at the time I had just discovered Squishmallows. I know they've been out for years, but I hadn't really seen them before. This mod has two parts. The first was the same as the Sims, where you could find them and dig them up in place of My Sims trophies. And the second part was that you could buy them and place them as regular decorations, but your Sims could also play with them. Not just children or childish adults, but any Sim can. I worked from just a basic Squishmallow mesh and built each character and their features from that. I chose one of that type. For example, I chose Connor the cow to be represented in the set of 20 that you can collect, but then later created all of the different cow Squishmallows that fit that shape to be part of the buyable set. So in the end, there's a set of 20 that you can dig up and fill out in your collectibles, and a set of 175 that you can buy freely. And since then, I've also made a couple of add-on sets that expands on that even further, like the set of 14 Christmas Squishmallows, and I plan to do more for Valentine's Day and other events in the future. A lot of the suggestions I got from TikTok and live streams. There was really only a couple that I decided to do myself, which was the strawberry, the frog, cow, and fox, and everything after that I worked on in live streams. So that's why it may seem a bit of a mismatch or a random assortment. Right now, I'm moving on to texturing of James the Fox, but I want to talk a little bit about the ears since it's a process that I repeat a lot throughout the whole project. Modifiers are literally lifesavers. They let you modify your mesh in a non-destructive way, and there's a lot of things that you can do with them. You can get a lot of detail out of a very simple mesh just by using modifiers, but specifically for custom content, these modifiers do need to be applied at the end. I start out by using a simple plane in a U shape to form the basic shape of an ear. I add a solidify modifier to add thickness to the plane without having to extrude it out myself, and then I use a subdivision modifier which adds extra topology to the mesh and smooths out the edges. After applying the modifiers, I usually go in and remove a little bit of the topology that isn't needed, and it just optimizes it a little bit. A mirror modifier is the last one that I apply so that we have two ears that are exactly the same with the same UV. In this case, the ears for Leanne the lion were going to be very similar to Wesley the wombat, so I cheated a little and just reused it and adjusted it. Leanne was quite fun to make, but I didn't have much of a game plan going into it, so I ended up making a few mistakes. Basically, I just traced around the shape I wanted her mane to be using face snapping and extruded that out to form a basic ring. I add a few more layers, and with a transparent texture, it creates a very nice layered effect of fur. As I mentioned earlier, any sim of any age is able to play with the Squishmallows. If you weren't aware before, a sim that has the childish trait is able to interact with and play with toys, but if an adult does not have the childish trait, they will not be able to. So I spent quite a few hours learning scripting. The main thing I wanted was all sims could play with the toys, but then I also went and changed some of the wording to let you rename the Squishmallow. The other problem I encountered was now all sims were drawn to the Squishmallow and wanted nothing more but to play with them. This would be an issue if you spent all your time setting up a neat display shelf for all your Squishmallows, and the Sims instantly came in and picked one up, only to play with it and then put it back down in a random location. So basically, I just turned autonomy off for the Squishmallows. It doesn't affect any of the other toys in the game, but at least now you won't have a fear of your Sims playing with the Squishmallows while you aren't looking. Now we have a bit of a time skip. I'm not sure what happened, but I think I've deleted clips and footage in the past in order to make space on my hard drive, Or maybe I was just dumb and I forgot to record. Guess we'll never know. But from here on out, I'm pretty much just making all of the different texture variations for all of the bases. So right now, I already had an Archie the Axolotl model to be included in the collectible set, but I wanted to include all of the other axolotls in the buyable set too. I don't think I have too much to explain about this process. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm just adjusting the colors in Photoshop and saving them.
it goes, okay. Baby, that you love, but I'm fine. And now I just hit that. In my mind, wherever I go in my dreams, when I lay in my bed, I can get you out of there. I just wanna make you feel special, but I know you don't want me 'cause I'm not your type. Is alright, well I'm laying inside. Yeah. I just wanna make you feel special, but I know you don't want me 'cause I'm not your type. Is alright, well I'm laying inside. Your love, your love, your love, your love. Babe, it's not a big deal, you're not special. Babe, stop thinking you're special. Your love, your love, your love, your love. Babe, it's not a big deal, you're not special. Babe, stop thinking you're special. Where are you? Tell me where you go, okay. Baby, that you love, but I'm fine. And now I just hit that. In my mind, wherever I go in my dreams, when I lay in my bed, I can get you out of there. I just wanna make you feel special, but I know you don't want me 'cause I'm not your type. Is alright, well I'm laying inside. Yeah. I just wanna make you feel special, but I know you don't want me 'cause I'm not your type. Is alright, well I'm laying inside. Your love, your love, your love, your love. Babe, it's not a big deal, you're not special. Babe, stop thinking you're special. Your love, your love, your love, your love. Babe, it's not a big deal, you're not special. Babe, stop thinking you're special.
It wasn't until I made the bunny texture, which was honestly quite late in the process and was towards the end of the whole set, but I changed up my technique a little bit. Rather than doing the full texture in Blender, then transferring to Photoshop to separate into different layers to make recoloring all the different versions easier, I did all the layers individually in Blender. So I would use a full transparent base and draw some of the features, save that image, do a new transparent texture and draw some other features. That way I can easily separate out the different parts as they don't have a background attached to them. I could have also done the textures in Photoshop, but I just like how the brush in Blender looks. Photoshop is a bit too blurry for my liking, whereas in Blender it's nice and crisp. I made these little tags to put onto 3 of the models. The first is the bunny, which was a Patreon exclusive. The second was for the big cats, which you can only get through the Tumblr post. And the third is for the Nightmare Before Christmas set, which was only released through TikTok. I'm going to show off all of the main Squishmallows while I wrap up the video. This isn't all of the variations, as that would just be too long to show off all 175 of them, but if you're interested in checking out, it's up on my Tumblr page. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.